Hi everyone, this is Dr. Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. My name is Dr. Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video right here. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. What I do is try and bring you the latest news and help you make sense of it because what is happening in our country is unbelievable right now. Buckle your seatbelt for this episode of Ignition Time. Let's just jump right in. On your screen, you'll see a tweet from Casey Hunt, who's an NBC News Capitol Hill's correspondent, and she said this is a chilling reality of what is unfolding today. Never should our elected representatives have fear for their very lives over a vote they cast representing their constituents. She's responding to a tweet from Tim Alberta, who's the chief political correspondent at Politico, and Tim is reporting that numerous House representatives have received death threats in the past week, and several members want to impeach Trump, but they fear that casting that vote would put their family in danger. This is a chilling reality that is being reported by Tim Alberta. And let's take a look at let's take a look at that tweet from Tim Alberta, where Tim says that, where Tim actually quotes Meet the Press, and Jason Crow, who's a Democrat from Colorado, says a majority of the Republican Party is, I quote, paralyzed with fear. And this is a quote from Jim Crow. I had a lot of conversations with my Republican colleagues. A couple of them broke down in tears, saying that they are afraid for their lives if they vote for this impeachment. Let's take a look at this segment on MSNBC and comments from these officials. Let's roll the tape and let's watch.
We heard earlier, Arnold and Caldwell reporting that you guys are going to send over this article of impeachment immediately to the United States Senate once it's passed, perhaps seeing if they can trigger action even sooner. But I want to give you a chance to respond to the process argument you heard from Tom Cole there, saying that this is all being rushed. Obviously, time is of the essence. Are you concerned at all about some of the arguments that Congressman Cole was making?
No, I'm not. I think we have to be honest about what it is we're actually dealing with here. First of all, there's a number of things that are happening on the Republican side. A very small handful, I think, are kind of morally bankrupt individuals who have given in to these conspiracy theories and are too far gone to be redeemed. But the majority of them are actually paralyzed with fear. I had a lot of conversations with my Republican colleagues last night, and a couple of them broke down in tears talking to me and saying that they are afraid for their lives if they vote for this impeachment. My response was not to be unsympathetic, but welcome to the club. That's leadership. Our country is in a very challenging time. Many of us have felt that way for a long time because we've stood up for our democracy, and we expect them to do the same. But the process argument, we have a domestic terror threat that's being led and incited by the president. There are three substantial plots against the Capitol, against members of Congress. They're ongoing now in the weeks ahead and against the inauguration of the president. We have to do what's necessary to protect the American people.
Let's take a look at a tweet from Biana Golodriga, who's CNN's senior global affairs analyst. And Biana writes, this is the same type of intimidation that Casey Hunt was referring to, hearing from some Republicans leading up to and following Biden's certification last week. In other words, what they're reporting is that lawmakers got these kinds of threats leading up to Biden's certification last week. And here's a tweet on your screen that Biana is responding to from Carrie Cordero, who's a fellow and general counsel for CNA STC and a legal and national security analyst for CNN. And Carrie writes, what was just reported on CNN is critically important that members under pressure from Trump are scared and fear for their lives and families. Trump is intimidating members from performing their constitutional duties. His removal from office is urgent. Also in other reporting, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said that she feared for her life. You'll see this tweet on your screen from CNN Politics, where AOC says, I did not know if I was going to make it to the end of that day alive. I'll show you a couple of videos, very strong comments from AOC in just a minute. And right now I can report to you that the House Republicans that are supporting impeachment include Congressman Katko from New York, Congresswoman Cheney from Wyoming, Congressman Kinzinger from Illinois, Congressman Upton from Michigan, and Congresswoman Butler from Washington. They are the five representatives who are at this moment supporting impeachment. We could see more emerging very shortly. And Zoe Lofgren is a Democrat congresswoman from California. You'll see Heather Cagle's tweet on your screen, the Politico co-congressional bureau chief who's talking about Congresswoman Lofgren. She responded to the Republican Party saying this whole thing is too rushed. She said what happened this time was in plain view. he incited a right-wing mob of insurrectionists to come and overturn constitutional government a week ago. You don't need a long investigation to find that out. And now I'm about to show you some heartbreaking images. On your screen, you'll see a tweet from Erin Schaff, who's a staff photographer for the New York Times in Washington, D.C. Inside the Capitol this morning, where House Speaker Pelosi usually walks to her office, the National Guard, soldiers and forces from our National Guard sleeping on the floor. This is one of a series of many, many, many images that you'll see. The National Guard that has been deployed to protect the Capitol. You'll see the images on your screen. Soldiers sleeping on the floor because they didn't have access to cots. Now, again, it's incredible that we should even be reporting this, but these are our soldiers designed to protect us, designed to protect the Capitol and our lawmakers that are sleeping on the floor inside the historic building, the Capitol of the United States of America. In the meantime, here's reporting from Jake Sherman over at Punchbowl News, and Jake reports that the right is moving on Liz Cheney, the congresswoman from Wyoming, who took a stand yesterday and called what Donald Trump did the greatest betrayal. I did report that in a video yesterday, so you can check out that video on our channel. And there's a petition for the ouster of the number 3 Republican in the House. And you'll see this petition on your screen, which reads, calling on Congresswoman Liz Cheney to resign her position as chair of the Republican conference. Pretty incredible that they would call for her ouster the day after she came out speaking against Donald Trump. This is the influence this is the influence of Donald Trump within the Republican Party, as you can clearly see. Here's a tweet on your screen from Drew Hamill, who's a deputy chief of staff for House Speaker Pelosi, and he shows us a picture, an incredible picture of the Speaker of the House thanking the men and women of the National Guard for protecting the U.S. Capitol. This picture was taken today, and what an incredible picture. And as I'm reporting this, the acting D.C. police chief said during a press conference that we can expect to see upwards of 20,000 members in the District of Columbia guarding the Capitol and all across. Now, just to give you some perspective, this rally that occurred last week was originally supposed to have 5,000 people, and then they took permission for 30,000 people. Now, there are some reports that there were hundreds of thousands of people. That's not true. There were approximately 30,000 people at the rally, and there were a few hundred people who breached and went into the Capitol. So now the presence of the National Guard is overwhelming, and hopefully we can have an uneventful and a peaceful transition in the next few days. Here's a tweet on your screen from CNN Politics, where CNN reports that President Trump's actions during his final days in office have significantly increased his exposure to potential criminal prosecution, complicating his life after the White House. Now, I will be doing another video talking about whether Donald Trump can pardon himself and what it actually means. So definitely subscribe to our channel, enable notifications so you can get notified when we release that video. Here's a tweet on your screen from Reed Wilson. And Reed Wilson is a correspondent for The Hill. And Reed Wilson provides us with a picture of Florida National Guard headed to D.C. to support the inauguration. So these are National Guard members from Florida. And by the way, we're talking about all this. Here's reporting on your screen from Benji Sarlin, who's a policy editor at NBC News. And Benji reports that this would be the top story had we not been in the middle of a constitutional crisis, voting for the impeachment, the second impeachment of the president, of a sitting president, for the first time in the history of the United States of America. On top of that, the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has signaled that he is open to impeaching Donald Trump. So Donald Trump could be the first and hopefully the only president to be impeached by the House twice and potentially convicted by the Senate. We'll wait and see how things evolve because we only have a few days left to go. And you see the tweet that Benji retweeted came from Josh Wingrove. And Josh Wingrove is a White House reporter for Bloomberg News. 4,610 people died from the pandemic yesterday. This is a new record. More and more people are dying every day. And you can see this chart on your screen, which shows you the number of deaths are increasing. Just astonishing that I would even be reporting this. And Kevin Liptak is a CNN White House reporter. Kevin reported that on the day that Trump will be impeached for a second time, which is today, Trump lacks a comprehensive legal strategy and is without his preferred mode of communicating, in part because Jared Kushner put a stop establishing his presence on fringe platforms. So keep in mind that Donald Trump was permanently suspended from Twitter. He also can't reach out via Facebook, and he was temporarily suspended on YouTube, which happened in the last 24 hours. And he and his advisors tried to set him up on other websites, and Jared Kushner said, nope, don't do that. Also, here's another tweet on your screen. Reed Wilson, correspondent for The Hill, also reported that the incoming Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, there he is, hello, incoming Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and there's the outgoing Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Hello, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. See ya, but I'm sure we'll hear from you, and I'm sure that you are going to play an important role in the impeachment process, in the impeachment of Donald Trump in the Senate. So again, let's see the tweet on your screen from Reed Wilson. Reed says that Schumer says that more stimulus relief will be the first piece of legislation that Schumer brings up as the new Senate Majority Leader. And in a new blow to the Republican Party, you'll see this tweet on your screen from Matt Egan. And Matt Egan is the lead writer at CNN Business. Americans for Prosperity, which is a very powerful donor, very, very powerful major donor, donated billions to the Republican Party, founded by the GOP mega donor Charles Koch, is signaling, so again, this is Americans for Prosperity, signaling that it could cut funding to some lawmakers based on the actions prior to what happened on the 6th of January. More pictures on your screen from Igor Bobik. Igor Bobik is a politics reporter for the Huffington Post. Take a look at these pictures. Stunning pictures. Stunning pictures. If this doesn't shock you, I don't know what will. It's hard for me to even continue reporting when I see pictures like these, as you see on your screen. Just some stunning pictures again. With our National Guard. Our National Guard forces sleeping on the floor of the Capitol. Reporting from Heather Cagle, co-congressional bureau chief at Politico. Pelosi will not say whether she'll send the articles of impeachment over after it passes the House today. She says, I will not be making that announcement now. And keep in mind, the House Majority Leader, Steny Hoyer, has said today that he thinks that the articles of impeachment should be sent over to the Senate right away, but he did say he will defer to the Speaker. There has been some serious discussion over a potential delay to the nominations for Biden, but we don't know what will happen now, and we'll wait and see. Keep in mind there are two procedural hurdles for Donald Trump to be impeached in the House, and both of them are expected to happen. In fact, the first procedural hurdle was already crossed. You see this tweet on your screen from Jake Sherman over at Punchbowl News. 221 to 205, impeachment clears the debate process, the first of two procedural hurdles. Once a vote is held, and once Trump is impeached in the House, then House Speaker Pelosi will decide whether it goes to the Senate, and then the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will decide when it comes for a vote on the floor of the Senate. There are many complications there, but we'll know. Think the situation is very fluid and is evolving in real time. You'll see this tweet on your screen from Mike DeBonis, and Mike DeBonis covers Congress for the Washington Post, and he said the official GOP explanation for them voting by proxy is because House Speaker Pelosi scheduled snap votes. She wanted votes immediately. But keep in mind that a lot of Republicans who are voting by proxy now had argued for months that it was immoral, unethical, and illegal. They actually went to court to block it, but now they're using that power. Here's a tweet on your screen from Seung Min Kim from the Washington Post, and she's quoting Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, who he made it clear in a new statement that he opposes impeaching Trump. And he said, as to Senate leadership, I fear they are making the problem worse, not better. That's a quote from Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. So pretty interesting there. Now, this is important. This is from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman. She said, to some of my colleagues who clearly need the reminder, the Confederacy were traitors to our democracy and white supremacists will never win. If any of you has trouble with that, maybe you should resign because you're not ready to run an ant farm, let alone serve in Congress. Very strong comments. In fact, let's roll the tape and take a look at comments from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She says, any member of Congress so much as stutters to say that the Confederacy were traitors to the United States, turn in your pin and get out. Very strong comments. Let's roll the tape and watch.
When these rioters broke into our nation's capital, they flew the Confederate flag inside our nation's capital. Let me break down the historical significance of that for you. This happened. They flew the Confederate flag for the first time in American history in the U.S. Capitol. It didn't even make it in during the Civil War. And there were members cheering them on. Don't get it twisted. Don't let them act like they didn't. There were members who were supportive. You had a member of Congress from Colorado saying, my people are outside. They flew the Confederate flag when it didn't even make it in during the Civil war. And they said, those are my people. So let me tell you something. Let me share this with every member of Congress who voted to overturn the results of our free and fair, again, a generous assessment election, to vote to overturn the results of our election. If any member of Congress so much as stutters to say that the Confederacy were traitors to the United States, that the Confederacy is a legion of white supremacists, if you so much as stutter to say that, turn in your pin and get out. Go join them. Why don't you go join them if you are so sympathetic to them? But you have no place in the capital of the United States of America, in the citadel of democracy, if that's the trash that you believe in.
Pretty powerful comments from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She actually had a very close call. Here's a tweet on your screen from Emma Gray, senior reporter at Huffington Post. And Emma reported that AOC told viewers on Instagram Live that she had a close encounter during the attacks in which she thought she might die. She said she cannot disclose full details because of security concerns. And speaking of security concerns, you'll see this tweet on your screen from Greg Bensinger. And Greg Bensinger is a New York Times editorial board member. And he said that Airbnb has cancelled all reservations in the DC area for Inauguration Week. It has identified and banned people who it says are either linked to hate groups or participated in what happened in the US Capitol last week. So this is on the Airbnb website. You'll find a link to all of this information in the description section below. Pretty incredible. And finally, here's a comment from Jeff Stein, who's a White House economics reporter for the Washington Post. And he says he's seen conflicting reports, but he says he would be surprised if Democrats do wind up boosting unemployment benefits to $600 a week. He said Ron Wyden, who's a Democrat from Oregon, and other Democrats are actually pushing it. And he says the final amount that they could settle on could be lower, but let's wait and see what happens as far as the stimulus package is concerned. That's a roundup of the news as it's evolving, everybody. You'll get a link to all these tweets in the description section below. If you have any questions, please type them out into the comment section below. You'll get a link to all of this information in the description section below. I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you for giving me your time in these unbelievable times we live in. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Right here is some information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I want to help you live the American dream as soon as we get through this American nightmare. We live in incredible times, and that's why this channel, the Ignition Time channel, was created to try and help you make sense of what's going on in the world around us. Because I believe that once you understand what's happening in the country, you'll be able to better understand what's happening in the economy, and by extension, you'll be able to better handle your money. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. We release videos every day, and I encourage you to click like, to click subscribe, to enable notifications, because then you'll be able to get notified by YouTube whenever we release a video. If you learn something new, please gently hit the subscribe button and enable notifications so you get alerts from us as we release videos going forward. Now, sometimes YouTube does not release these alerts as soon as we release the videos. So the best way around that is simply to bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. Make sure you do that. This way you can visit the homepage of our channel and you'll never miss a single video. I think that you'll find that extremely valuable. So please do that. I would really appreciate you doing that. Also, please share this video with just 2 friends or family members. That's just 2 friends or family members. Follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Our Twitter community is growing very rapidly. One of the advantages of Twitter is you'll know in real time what I'm reading. You'll know in real time what I'm thinking because I retweet in real time. It's a way for us to almost get through the news together. So definitely follow me on Twitter. Once again, my Twitter handle is ignition_time. In fact, let's show you my Twitter feed right here. And as I'm recording this, I'm getting alerts of our Twitter followers growing and our Twitter community growing. So you'll see my Twitter feed right here as we scroll through the Twitter feed, and you'll start to see everything I'm reading, everything I'm retweeting in real time, because these are unusual times that we live in. So definitely follow me on Twitter. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. So definitely check out the description section below. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is designed to help you make sense of this world and help us get through this together. We have gone through a range of emotions together. I've covered stimulus news where I'm hoping that it's raining money. Well, it's not raining money right now. Look at that, raining money. I want to cover news where we have a successful start to the year. I mean, when the new year came along, it was like we were in party mode. There was confetti everywhere, and we were celebrating that finally 2020 is behind us. But now sometimes I feel I'm looking forward to 2022. When the new year came along, I was dancing. And I was actually breakdancing too. Let me show you my breakdancing skills, because I can do what I think is a decent breakdance. Watch this, okay? Watch this. I'm going to pull an imaginary rope. It was very hard to pull that imaginary rope. I'm actually out of breath right now. So I'm going to try and bring a smile to your face in this unbelievable news climate that we live in. You have seen my breakdance. In case you want to see it one more time, check this out. I can actually do the moonwalk as well. I'll do the moonwalk for you guys in the next video. But seriously, I want to help us make sense of this crazy day and age that we live in. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please click like. Please subscribe, please enable notifications, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.